Well, Gary, it's been the late showing more than one way this afternoon. A last-minute winner to get 3 points in the match on the opening day, and obviously the delayed start initially, not the ideal preparation, but all worth it in the end.
Yeah, I said that to them before the game. I said, we've had a very interrupted journey getting here, obviously, and I think, no fault of the coach driver and obviously stuff like that, but an oil leak prevented us getting here on time. I think we got here at 2:45, which wasn't ideal, and luckily the game and the referee was able to put the game back for us until 3:30. So quick warm up, obviously, which isn't always ideal, and I just felt I could sort of tell within the warm we were a little bit sluggish, and whether we were still on the coach or what, I don't know, but it probably took us the first half to get into it. We were in the game, throughout that first half. Obviously, we created numerous chances. It was a sticky day. It was a dry pitch, and I just felt those final moments, those final passes, crosses, shots, they weren't quite getting there, and we addressed a few things at half time. Obviously, Charlo's injury was the only unfortunate incident today, but I thought his replacement today, and I've just told him there, I don't like singling players out, but I thought Matty Timon, when he came on today against his former club, was absolutely outstanding, and he deserves huge credit today. So huge credit all round, not just to Ty, but to the rest of the group. They've performed miracles today, and gone right to the death, which proves the fitness and the hard work that we've gone through all pre-season. So well done to the boys.
Yeah, and you mentioned about perhaps a bit sluggish in the warm-ups at times, but in that first half there were some real promising moments in an attacking sense, and would be just perhaps that final product that was lacking there.
Yeah, we wanted to get forward today, especially down the sides, and they play quite high within their wingers, and we knew that they'd struggled to cope with Colo and Smudge going the other way, and that was our route in today, and we had plenty of those moments in the first half, and like I said, just those moments where you're playing a full-back in, or where you're playing a pass to a teammate, they weren't quite reaching it, but like I said, all credit to them. We were 1-0 down and showed great character to get 2 goals back in the second half and come out on top.
Yeah, just looking at the goal in that first half of the game, Workington the lead. I'm sure you've been working up for pre-season that aspect of defending corners, but it felt very sort of deja vu for last season, that one.
Yeah, and I remember we spoke about it in pre-season. I can't remember which game it was, but we have addressed it. It's just one of those where I think that the lad who's knocked it back across the big six, it wasn't the first header he won on the day, and we didn't quite address it, leading up to that goal, and it's been nodded across, and I think it was Riggy who's tapped it in at the near post. So not disappointing one to concede, and we had to address that at half time, obviously, and I think Ty sort of done the on-field coaching in that, and bossed people around a little bit, and made sure everyone was man for man, and we had no problems with that going forward into the second half. But I'm just really, really pleased. It's been a long day, it seems, right from the get-go of leaving Whitby with you boys, and then us getting on the coach at 10:30 and not actually getting here till close to 3 o'clock. Everyone deserves huge credit, and not just the players.
Yeah, and you got a reference there about Jake Charles coming off just after falling behind. Do you know much on that one? Because I obviously missed last week with the little hamstring.
Yeah, it's the hamstring again, so I'm not quite sure how serious. Whether he gets scanned or not, I'm not sure, but it seems it's been an ongoing issue with him recently, obviously. We'll just have to play that by ear. I'm going to hazard a guess that he definitely won't be available for the next couple of games at least. But this is the beauty of it. I've just said to the lads in there, and I'm very biased, obviously, but I believe that I have the best Whitby Town squad that has been shown in recent times. The bench today, for example, nearly all the boys were needed, and I wasn't able to do that last season. And stuff like that is a huge blessing for me, and it made a massive difference today with the people we brought on.
Yeah, so going in at half time, a goal down, what was your message to the players? Obviously you said there were moments in there where it was still positive play for them, just more of the same, and obviously tying up a bit at the back as well.
Yeah, I didn't have to say too much. Excuse me. I didn't have to say too much. That they did all the talking themselves, and that's the type of group we have. We've got some experienced lads in there, and they know where things need addressing and where things need improving. And we just felt that we knew where we were lacking. We knew we still had a good 10-15% extra to give, and if we did that and played to our strengths, bringing Matty on certainly give us another dimension in terms of how we played and getting the ball up to him. And when he's on his game like that, there isn't anyone who comes near him within the league who can cope with him. And if you've got people around him like DC and Howrah, Leighton and Ronnie, then you're going to cause all sorts of problems, and I think that's what happened second half.
Yeah, and you can see in that second half as well, straight from the kick-off, the intensity had been up there, and that goal from Michael Woods, obviously it bounced a couple of times before actually going across the line in the end, but that sort of really then pushed Whitby on for that moment.
Yeah, I think as you said, it came right from kick-off, and we just seemed to, it was a no-lose situation, if you like, and we were 1-0 down. We obviously didn't want to lose the game. We wanted to go home with something, and no, it was all foot to the gas, and we come out great in the end. And as I said, we've worked really hard over pre-season, and I think that the fact that we've gone to the distance and scored in the 90+ minute, it's a huge testament to the work that the lads have done. And I think we, on the second half performance and parts of the first half, I felt we really deserved the result.
Yeah, and that winning goal coming in the 94th minute, but it's one of those before that it kind of felt like the intensity was really being up to try and push for that winner, and Donald Chimaleon in particular caused an absolute havoc down the left hand side, it felt like.
Yeah, it was he was playing well within central, but I just felt Ronnie was tended to, he likes to drift, Ronnie, and he's a central player that he has a lot of energy, and I just felt switching them to over for the last 15-20 minutes was a big tactical move, and it worked out great for us. And DC, as you said, he got in a few times down that side and just couldn't quite pick the right pass to finish the move off. But no, I think both players, I'm really pleased to have both players into the club, into the squad, and both will have a huge impact on this season, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's now just obviously a case of trying to back it up on a Tuesday night, first of 2 home games in a week. Stocksmith Park Steel's the visitors for that one, and again they're probably going to be a bit of a tricky opponent given it's their first game back at the level. Yeah,
difficult one, because obviously I've got no real scout reports or no real videos to go off of a game today for them, but difficult opponent. They've just been promoted. They'll be riding the crest of the wave, if you like, and come into the tour bar full of confidence, and it's up to us now to back this up. We'll go away from this as a staff, as a club, as a team, and as a squad full of confidence. And as you say, it's about backing it up now, picking the right team and the right bench to hopefully do that, and hopefully we'll get the right result on the day.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Thanks.